This is A's Cast Live, your comprehensive look at the Athletics.
Swung on, drive to left field. Did he do it? He did! 4 home runs for Nick Kurtz! He is 6 for 6!
Swing and a drive, deep to left. The A's take the lead in grand fashion.
And 29 other MLB clubs.
Stretch of the pitch to Cal. Swing and a drive, deep to right field. There it is, number 60, the modern-day Bambino.
Join us as we take you inside the baseball universe from humidors to walk-off dingers.
That swung at a high, deep drive to right. Smith is back. He will not even watch it. And the A's win it on a walk-off by Nick Kurtz.
We have you covered. Spend your afternoon with us, only on A's Cast Live. Here's Chris Townsend.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to A's Cast Live from Diablo Stadium in Tempe, Arizona, the home of the Los Angeles Angels, of Anaheim, of Disney, of want to sell the team, don't want to sell the team. Is Trout going to stay healthy? Rendon's not going to play. That's who the Athletics are taking on today. The Angels, our old buddy Kurt Suzuki, the manager of the Angels. We got a pretty good lineup today. Chris Caray and I will be doing the game coming up here in 2 hours. Chris Caray is already working on his lineups, and he has told me that we have a good roster today for the Athletics. It's pretty much just about everybody's an everyday guy except Henry Bolte, who will be probably an everyday guy coming up here. I don't know when, but you're going to have to make room. And it's going to be a good lineup today for the Athletics. Spring training action coming your way here on A's Cast and the A's Radio Network. Commander, how are you today?
I'm good, Towny. How's everything going in Tempe, where you guys are, and what's it look like at the old yard there, as the baseball people say?
Behind me, a guy is on a lawnmower.
He's getting the field ready.
Getting the field ready. I will say this. So in life, we want everything new, and we want everything just to be perfect. And we don't appreciate old school anymore. This ballpark has been here for a long time. It is old. Everybody craps on it in the Cactus League. I will not. I think it's really, really cool. It's got one of the best backdrops in all of baseball. I don't know how much you can see the little mountains off here to the side. You can see the cars and the freeway going by. It's an old school ballpark. It's got a great look. I love coming here. It's a tremendous place to see a baseball game. Yeah, it doesn't have luxury suites and all the stuff that all the new places have down here. I appreciate it, though. I will say this, and we are right next to Terry Smith and the Angels broadcasters. And I don't want to say it too loud. Can you hear me, Cody?
Yeah.
It smells like death around here. I walked in and I'm like, what's that smell? It smells like a dying franchise. It is really hard. Let me tell you something that I've always done at spring training when I'm not doing the games, is I like to walk around and I like to go to everybody's merch shop, right? And one of the best is Sloan, where the Cubs play. They've got so much merch. They have so much room there where they don't have a lot of room at Wrigley because it is so old. Their merch shop at their spring training is bigger than it is at Wrigley Field. It is amazing. Well, last time I was here, tells you how long ago it's been. The last time I went down here at Diablo Stadium to check out the merch, it was full of Mike Trout and who? Who am I as a former Angel?
Okay, former Angel. I'm going to go probably not Ohtani.
Was Ohtani.
Oh, it's Ohtani, okay.
It was all Trout and all Ohtani last time I was here. Now, he's only been with the Dodgers, 2 years?
This will be his third year, yeah.
Yeah, so it was 3 years ago I was here, and it was all Ohtani. It was all Trout. And, man, does this franchise look dramatically different. And we're not really we can't really throw shade on anybody because we've gone through our times, right? We've gone through some rough times, and we haven't had the best reputation. They wrote a book and made a movie about it. Really smart, but really cheap. The Angels haven't been cheap. The Angels have just been bad. And now they're really a rudderless ship, which we are not anymore. They want a new stadium. They've had issues with their new stadium. Political people have been investigated. I don't know if they were ever arrested, but they had politicos there in Orange County who were investigated by the FBI and the DOJ. That's Department of Justice for some of you people. And it was scandalous. And still, they're nowhere even near finding a new ballpark. Their owner, Artie Moreno, has dumped a lot of money in. At one point, he talked about selling the team. He had people looking at potentially buying the team, and now the team's off the table. And Mike Trout wants to be back in the outfield again and talk about trying to play center field, which we know he can't play center field and he can't even get on the field. The general manager's on a 1-year deal along with our guy. Perry Manassian has been here for a while. It's been not good. And our guy Kurt Suzuki has signed up for a 1-year deal as a manager. So it's just we'll talk a lot about the Angels today, but man, it's got a weird feeling here. There's always so much hope and optimism in spring training when you look at franchises. I just don't know what kind of hope you can have with a franchise that, they don't have a TV deal. They got some good young players. We were talking about on the way. We've always liked Netto. He's a tough young shortstop. Shannawell was rushed to the big leagues. He's been able to compete. People don't like that he doesn't end up home runs at first base, but he's a good player. Joe Adell has been here forever. Hits home runs now. But it's not – Alek Manoah is not going to show up and become Nolan Ryan for you back in the 70s. Grayson Rodriguez is here. He can't stay healthy. He's come over from Baltimore. Kikuchi, I don't know. I don't know what you're going to get from this team this year. But they handled the A's last year. Johnny D and I were talking about that in yesterday's broadcast. One of those teams, for years, the A's have really struggled against the Mariners. Last year, the A's struggled against the Angels. That's something that definitely has to stop. But spring training action today, going to be good. What do we have? I believe we have Martín Gallegos is going to join us.
Yep, Martín's going to join us in about 25 minutes or so at the bottom of the hour. So it'll be 11:30 for you and 10:30 for everyone listening in California and in Nevada.
Is he here?
He's on his way to Tempe. So, yes, he'll be doing it, I think, from somewhere in the press box with you. So we also have 2 of our interviews left. We have Gunnar Hoglund, a starting pitcher who is making his way back from hip surgery last year, and he's dealing with a knee issue. And we also have Braden Nett, the A's 6th-ranked prospect, one of the bigger names in the trade for Mason Miller from the Padres, who I'm waiting to see if he'll be on the spring breakout roster, which they are doing a show on MLB Network right now, but they haven't put out the full roster yet, so I'm keeping an eye on that. And then we'll have Chris Caray towards the end of the broadcast just to kind of catch up and talk about today's game. I was going to do an edition of Know Your Angels, but their history, I don't think Chris Caray would. We saw how he did against the Diamondbacks. So we'll save Know Your Rockies for Johnny D tomorrow because that'll be fun. I'm
looking directly at Chris Caray right now, and I think if we did Know Your Angels, it would be an epic failure.
Not every answer is Trout and Ohtani.
No.
Not Rendon.
No.
Not Netto.
When we go Doug DeCenze, I think Bobby Grich, I think he's out. Wally Joyner, remember Wally's World? He's probably going, who's Wally Joyner?
Mo Vaughn.
Don Baylor. Do you think he would do you think he would know that Reggie Jackson left the Yankees to play for the Angels? Do you think he'd know that? And do you think he'd know that Reggie Jackson hit a home run against the Angels in his first game against the Yankees on that opening day? You think he'd know that? He's shaking his head no.
I was going to say, what
do you think? Do you think he even knows Nolan Ryan played for the Angels?
Does he?
He's giving a thumbs up. So he knows Nolan Ryan at least donned the Angel uniform at one point.
Believe it or not, there were pitchers with the Angels before Jared Weaver and John Lackey pitched.
He may not even know Jared Weaver.
Yeah, we'll have to save it. But yeah, we'll do Know Your Rockies tomorrow with Johnny D. I remember when we did that a couple years ago with Johnny, and I stumped him with the question that no one ever knew unless you really understood the dynamics of Coors Field, which brewery is located in Coors Field. And you would think immediately Coors Light, That is incorrect.
Don't say it.
We'll ask
Don't say
John tomorrow. See if he knows.
Don't say it. I didn't know that.
So we'll ask you tomorrow.
Don't give it up. Don't give it. That's a great question because it's like, really? Now, does Adolf Coors, whatever the parent company's name is for Coors, do they own that brand? They have to.
I believe so. Yes. Let me just confirm.
We will just give you a hint. It is a beer that highlights itself by putting a piece of fruit in it.
Correct. Yes, it's owned by Molson Coors. So yes.
Okay.
So that'll be one of the questions towards the end for Johnny D tomorrow after I ask him who's the winningest manager in Rockies history and so on. Though I haven't done all the research to dive in yet, but I think I have an idea of who the winningest manager is.
I like to know your Angels. Johnny is here. If we could do a spot on quick know your Angels.
Well, he did grow up in L.A., so he might know a little history of the Angels.
They're not L.A. They're Orange County. They're Orange County. That's not L.A. They don't have a TV deal either now.
Yeah, the like majority of the league. Yeah,
isn't that crazy when you look around and you think of baseball as the ultimate content provider, gives you more games, gives you more programming than anybody else, and all these teams don't have a cable deal. It's crazy.
Yeah, the Tigers just launched their own sports network. I think it's just Detroit Sports Network or something like that. Them and the Red Wings. So it's another team that's launching their own internal streaming service for in-market.
The Red Wings, which is one of – I mean, they are – when you talk about popularity in the National Hockey League, the Red Wings are all the championships, all the great players. I've been there for opening day of Red Wings hockey. I didn't go to the game, but it was – remember when I went back and I played golf and I was back there and I was in that tournament in Texas, but I went to Notre Dame with Road Trip Mike. Before we went to Notre Dame, we saw Notre Dame play Stanford. I first went to one of my best friends who was our catcher at San Jose State, the great Dave Jennings, lives in Birmingham, Michigan, where all the teams stay. That's where the Townsend Hotel is. And he works for Merrill Lynch, and we were downtown. It was opening day for the Red Wings, and it was like opening day in baseball. Like everybody was wearing their sweaters
in the barn.
Everybody was wearing their Red Wings jerseys and everything. It's a big deal. So the Red Wings don't have a TV deal?
Nope, they're going to be on the streaming service along with the Tigers. So that's what I saw the other day. The Illich family.
Wow. Red Wing hockey is a massive deal in Michigan. Like they're a regional. They're beyond just Michigan. They are like people in Indiana, like all the states adjoining Michigan. Everybody. Red Wings are. I can't sell this enough. I mean, they may be. Who's really more popular than the Detroit? We see it in San Jose when the Red Wings come to play the Sharks. There's Red Wing jerseys that they have the iconic flame coming off the tire. I don't know if there's really too many people bigger than the Detroit Red Wings.
In the United States, I would say probably not. I mean, you could maybe say the Rangers or Bruins would be up there.
What, the Maple Leafs are the only team bigger?
Toronto would probably be the biggest one, yeah.
I got to tell you, man, Detroit, because in our country, dude, Detroit, especially when those years were there, I mean, they've won for so many years. I love when you see the Gordie Howe jerseys.
Yeah,
Steve Yzerman.
They haven't won I remember this vividly because I still lived when I was still going to college. They played back-to-back years in the Stanley Cup final against the Penguins, and they haven't won since 2008. They were awesome those years, though.
There were legendary battles between the Sharks and the Red Wings, and you would go to downtown San Jose and the old big sports bar, San Jose Live, and the whole sports bar would be Red Wing jerseys. It was wild. And the Sharks were up and coming at the time and the upset and everything. So, by the way, this time of the year is really special. And I just started getting the feeling, right, because my daughter right now is with the Cal women's basketball team at the ACC tournament in Georgia. And then my daughter went after they beat Wake Forest, they all went over to Georgia Tech, which is in Athens, Georgia, to watch Cal basketball men's beat Georgia Tech. One of my good friends right now, his wife is the GM of women's Oklahoma basketball. So he's at the SEC tournament. in South Carolina as their ACC and SEC. We're talking big time basketball. And tournament plays about to start for the men. We're seeing all the commercials for it as we've been at this sports bar Zips down here in Tempe, Arizona. This time of the year with college basketball, and I know these kids are getting paid now, but it's still, you get that sense of college and playing for your team. Spring training, everybody feels good about themselves. We're not talking about money. We're not talking about contracts. We're talking about guys earning jobs. We're talking about people getting out of the cold, enjoying spring. There's just a really just kind of a good old school sports sense at this time of the year. I don't know why I'm feeling it right now, but it just feels good, right? It just feels wholesome. It feels old school. It feels like it's right. People, cheerleaders and players and alumni and people cheering on their schools, and it's spring training, and people are coming here just enjoying the games, enjoying the beauty of Arizona at this time. I really love when we hit this March, April. I like this time of the year. Some people think this is the best time of the year of the sports calendar because they love March Madness, because when it comes to sports action, there's nothing like the tournament. It's other than the Super Bowl for our friends in Vegas, March Madness, the first 4 days of March Madness is the most packed. Other than the Super Bowl is the most packed in all the sports books and all the gambling, sports wagering, as we like to call it, or as some of our friends like to call it, sports investing. It's a big time of the year. It's a great time. In spring training, everybody's got hope, right? Everybody's got a chance. We see teams, the Toronto Blue Jays finishing last place, right, the year before, and they were in the World Series. So, I mean, there's hope in the air. Spring gives us hope, right? Spring makes us feel better about ourselves. We're coming out of that brutal California winter where it got like 52 degrees during the day. So we're really –
Meanwhile,
did we have winter this year? Was there a winter at all? We barely had rain.
Yeah, it rained a little bit around like the holiday season. I remember how bad, but I was more in like Southern California where they got hit with rain. I mean, we're seeing what's happening in the Northeast the last few weeks, how much snow they got, and then we're complaining that it's 50 degrees or 55 degrees in Northern California. So, and also the tournament, I believe the WCC tournament will be going on when we get to Vegas. I think it started already. I think it's the Orleans Arena. So the WCC is going on in Las Vegas.
I never thought about that because Vegas was the king of all the conference tournaments because it was Pac-12. We don't have that anymore.
Well, it's coming back next year.
Is Washington State and Oregon State just going to play each other a bunch of times and call it a Pac-12 tournament?
Well, they do got Gonzaga now. They might run the conference.
So, yeah, you had the Big West. You had the WCC. You had the Pac-12, and you had somebody else there, too. Was it Big Sky or something like that?
That I don't know off the top of my head, but that sounds like it'd be somewhere, a conference that would probably play in Las Vegas. But yeah, I believe St. Mary's and Gonzaga don't play till Monday, and then like Santa Clara plays Sunday night. I was looking to see who's playing while we're down there, and it's all, I think USF, the University of San Francisco, plays Saturday night because they're one of the higher seeds so that's one of the tournaments going on, and we're lucky right for the season opens for the Athletics in Toronto.
WAC! I forgot WAC.
I think it's the 26th through the 29th. The Sweet 16 and Elite 8, if I'm not mistaken, are in San Jose at SAP Center. So we're going to see high-level college basketball.
Is SAC, is Golden One hosting around?
I'd have to look, but I know for sure San Jose is. So I know that's where the Northern California location is.
See, a good producer always brings it back to himself. Cody lives near the arena, so all he cares about is what's happening near him. I mean, what about, we're on KSTE in Sacramento.
Actually, yeah, it says the Golden One will have games as well. Women's tournament will be in Sacramento.
There you go.
And Nate's telling me next year the men's tournament, Mr. Sacramento, Nate Littlefield in our studio at KSTE is telling me that the men's will be in Sacramento next year. Women's is this year at Golden One.
Hey, I was up at Golden One Center in the off season because, as I told you, my buddy's wife is the GM of Oklahoma women's basketball, which is big. You want to talk about big money? The SEC, they're flying in charter jets, whatever. I was up at Golden One Center because you had the Jordan tournament. So the original Jordan schools played at the Golden One Center. It was women's basketball. It was UCLA, Oklahoma, North Carolina, and Michigan. So I was there for Oklahoma, UCLA. So if anybody in Sacramento was there at Golden One Center for that game, I was there too to watch the Lady Bruins against the Lady Sooners. You're talking about these are the top schools. These are it was high level basketball. I got to tell you, and I've been to quite a few Cal women's games this year. I went to Cal Notre Dame. I went to a bunch of Cal's women's games. Women's college basketball is a lot of fun to watch because it's real basketball. It's weird, Cody. They actually run offenses. They just don't chuck three after three after three. I went to Duke Cal, and I'm sitting there watching Duke just miss three. I think they went 7 for 31. It was like, this is so boring. It's like watching a bad Warrior game if the Warriors had an off night. It was just like bad three after bad three. Women's basketball, they actually run offenses. They actually can shoot the ball and it hits off the backcourt. They actually have fundamentals. They actually play the game the way it's supposed to be played, just not chuck and duck from the three-point line. The women's basketball, I gotta be far more entertaining than men's basketball these days.
Yeah, all you see in men's basketball, and you mentioned college and the NBA, is drive, kick out, shoot a corner three-pointer, shoot a three. I mean, we're seeing the Steph Curry-ification of basketball, of where everyone just shoots three-pointers, and that's not a knock on Steph. He revolutionized the game with the Warriors, but that's all.
He ruined the game. Steph Curry ruined. Hot take Thursday. Oh, wow. He ruined the game.
Oh wow!
You know what I remember when everybody just wanted to be like Jordan and dunk. I miss people dunking.
And we don't see a lot of dunking anymore.
If I watch another 6'10" guy try and shoot a bad three-pointer, oh my God.
I mean, you're looking for the the stretch 5 and the stretch 4 guys who can shoot three-pointers. And that's kind of like the Nikola Jokic of the world who can shoot three-pointers. That's kind of like, the big European players are taking over the league. But yeah, that's all it is three-pointers. Because I remember once Daryl Morey said once before, 3 is worth more than 2, so that's why we shoot more of them. So, I mean, simple math was on his side. So, but I do have it finally, and we can talk to Martín about it because he put it out. The spring breakout roster is out.
Let's save it.
Yeah.
When's Martín joining us?
About 8 minutes or so.
All right, save that.
Okay.
Henry Bolte, who's in the lineup today. Chris Carey's not. Hold on one second. Bolte's hitting 8th? 9th?
9th, yeah.
So Henry Bolte's hitting 9th. Henry Bolte has hit safely in each of the last 4 games, going 6 for 11, hitting 545. It's a big question here, man. We've been highlighting him on this program. What do you do with him? And it's easy to say he needs a little more seasoning because all we talk about is suppressing guys. Is Henry Bolte grown up in front of your eyes? And it's like, size, power, speed, he's got it all. This is a kid who could hit a lot of home runs and steal a lot of bases and plays really good defense. Now, odds are he's going to get sent to AAA. But at some point, I asked Johnny and I asked Chris this. I said, I know the answer. So it's like one of those questions you know the answer. It's like, what would you rather have? Henry Bolte is like a 4th, 5th outfielder because you're going to have Cortez because he can give you a switch hitter. He's probably going to be on the roster. But would you want Bolte there available for you, or do you want him playing every day at AAA?
Well, since I'm not an old school baseball guy, I'd like to see him on the major league roster, especially if you feel like he doesn't need any more seasoning in the minor leagues. I feel like give him a shot and let him learn in the big league level, kind of like we see in other sports. But if you really want him to play every day, then maybe start him in AAA. But what's that do, especially playing in the PCL, where your numbers are going to be inflated?
I would go the other route. I'd rather him play every day, no matter where it is, than like come off the bench and not get a lot of run. But it's an interesting question because if we're sitting here talking playoffs, you're going to be Jim Mora. Playoffs? We're talking playoffs? If we're talking playoffs, you want your best 26 guys. Is Henry Bolte one of your best 26 guys?
The way he's playing in spring, I would lean towards right now. Yeah, he is. Especially if some of the other guys you're looking to see be everyday players struggle to hit. You could see maybe he gets called up, faster than you expect because as the organization has shown, if you're hitting in the minor leagues, we'll call you up. I'm looking at you, Jacob Wilson and Nick Kurtz and everyone else who's been called up quick.
How about Leo DeVries? 5 for 9. That's a 556 batting average over his last 4 games. I've seen Leo play 2 games now. Leo doesn't look 19. Leo is legit. And I'm going to say this. This is not a hot take. We might not be that far from Leo being our best all-around player. Now Johnny immediately goes, well, Nick Kurtz. I go, yeah, but Nick Kurtz is a first baseman. This is not a shortstop. This is the premier defensive position in baseball. I don't know what's going to happen with Jacob Wilson, but what I see with Leo DeVries, I mean, Leo's a kid that's got a lot of pop, a lot of speed, a lot of athleticism. We're talking all around, steel bags. This kid could be a perennial all-star. This kid's a steal. We're going to sit here years from now and laugh. Knock on wood, injury. We're going to laugh that we traded Mason Miller for this guy. This guy, I mean, wait till you see him. You're watching it, you're going, he looks like he's your everyday shortstop right now. And he's 19 years old. What do you think he's going to look like at 21, 22? I'm not even talking 26 when he's starting his prime. What is he going to look like at 21, 22? All right, coming up next, it's the big deal down here. I can't wait. It's going to be great. It's the breakout. We're going to have all of our top prospects for each team in a tournament play each other. Super exciting. And then next year, they're even going to do it on steroids. It's going to be, what's it next year?
It's going to be a full-on tournament, like single elimination. So
full-on tournament. So we'll have the roster and Martín Gallegos for you next right here on A's Cast Live.
Secure your spot for priority access for 2028 season tickets at the A's Ballpark in Las Vegas for just $19.01. The amount honors the founding year of the Athletics franchise in 1901. By joining the priority list, you'll get an early opportunity to grab season tickets before they go on sale to the public, while also supporting youth baseball and softball programs across Southern Nevada. To secure your spot, visit athletics.com/Vegas. '25 All-Star Brent Rooker joined Towny on A's Cast Live to discuss the special bond in the A's clubhouse.
There really is, and it's developed over the past several years since I've been here in 23. The guys who have kind of been through the rebuild, and a lot of them came to the minor leagues during that time, and got here in 23 or 24 or whatever it was, and it makes coming to work fun when you like the people you work with, when you like the guys that you're hanging out with, because I mean we're together for 8 months. We're together 8 hours or at least 8 hours a day every single day. So we're hanging out, and it makes it easier to perform, easier to improve, easier to want to show up and grow as an individual and as a group when you like the guys you're doing it with.
You can watch the full interview at youtube.com/athletics or listen at athletics.com/A'sCast. Baseball is back, and big league action has never been more affordable. For a limited time, grab your tickets to see the A's in West Sacramento for just $8. That's right, only $8 for select games this April and May. Catch the showdowns against the Royals, Cardinals, and American League West rivals, the Mariners and the Rangers. Whether it's a midweek getaway or an afternoon at the park, don't miss your chance to see your A's for less than the price of a ballpark snap. Tickets are moving fast. Head to athletics.com, that's athletics.com, to secure your seats today.
The A's YouTube page is your go-to destination for A's video content. Get access to great highlights, exclusive behind-the-scenes content, classic games, A's Cast Live, and more.
Visit youtube.com/athletics.
The time is now. Grab your sunglasses, A's gear, and get ready for some fun in the sun. Spring training is back as the Athletics get ready for the 2026 season. Now's the time to make plans to catch us in Mesa, Arizona, and enjoy the sunshine of your family and friends. Grab your tickets for the best seats at the lowest prices as your green and gold take on the Dodgers, Giants, Cubs, Padres, and more at Hohokam Stadium. Don't wait. Get your tickets at athletics.com/spring. That's athletics.com/spring.
Unlock offers and receive exclusive in-game features by downloading the MLB Ballpark app for iPhone and Android today. Plus, get the latest information on game time, schedules, and more.
Streaming from A's Spring Training, A's Cast Live continues with Chris Townsend.
Okay, I want to address something really quick before we get to this breakout. And it really is tired. And it's just, Athletic has put out Preserving Epic Theater. Will ABS kill the MLB managerial ejection?
I saw that and I didn't read it yet.
Let's be honest. What's the best thing this clock has done in baseball?
Speed up the games.
It gets everybody moving. I never realized how baseball really works until I had to fill in for the late, great Dick Callahan. God rest his soul, one of the great men we've ever had around the athletics organization. The voice of the Coliseum. Dick Callahan was a friend of mine. More than just baseball, I love the man. And Dick had throat problems. And I'll never forget, I got the phone call. Hey, we need you to, had never asked if I've done PA. Just said, Johnny D is in my seat. He's not working today.
Well,
he's Bogarting my seat.
He runs the broadcast.
Anyway, so I get a call. Hey, we need you to do PA tonight. And they asked me, have you ever done PA?
It's a love in your life. You need a hug, man.
No, I don't need a hug. I'm talking about Dick Callahan. You're over there taking my seat.
Bro, you're not there yet.
I'm always there.
You want some food?
A little bit later. By the way, Chris got me coffee today. How good was that?
Great guy.
Great guy. Renegade. Okay. Oh, wow. We've turned on Renegade. Renegade the coffee company. Johnny loved Renegade the coffee. You loved Renegade. So back to the story. So I get a call. We need you to do the PA tonight. They didn't ask me if I've ever done it. They just told me we need you to do the PA. And being the loyal soldier that I am, normally you got to bring somebody in, you got to pay them. You think I got paid to do it? So I had to do talk show, pregame show, then go straight into the PA for the game and do the postgame show. I'd never done PA. Now batting. I'd never done it before. So all of a sudden I got all these scripts to read. I got all this stuff I got to do. I'm basically Dick Callahan. And when you do PA, you start to realize all the different things because there's constantly a batter you have to announce and there's pitching change. Like there's all this movement that goes on in baseball that when you're just sitting there watching the game, you take for granted or you don't notice. And what the clock has done, it's sped up all of these different things and it makes the game more interesting because you constantly see that there's movement going on in baseball. We constantly have a new batter. We constantly have stuff going on. But when we have these games that were 3 hours and 45 minutes, it just dragged. Well, all of these morons, yes, morons, try to tell there'll never be a clock in baseball. They've tried to tell us all these years of all the things that we will never see. Guess what? We're seeing it. Now we see ABS. Soon ABS will be full. And even though these guys are already saying they hate it, I don't care. You know what? Anybody who doesn't want change, I don't even want to listen to you anymore. You really are like, it's tone deaf. It's like, I don't even, human beings evolve, business evolves. Our business is evolving. You want to stay in the Stone Age, fine. You're getting left behind. And PA taught me, like, wow, this thing's really moving. When you think you're sitting there drinking a beer, having a sausage, this game's slow. You do PA, and it's like, man. And I think Amelia Schimmel, the voice now of the ballpark in West Sacramento, I think, no doubt, she would tell you, oh, yeah, there's always stuff going on in the ballpark when you're doing PA. Do I really care about seeing an old man in a uniform run out there and yell at another old man? Is that really that entertaining? I mean, the days of Lou Piniella running down to first base, chewing a guy out, picking up the bag, throwing the bag into right field, yelling at, okay, if you're going to do that, I'm all in. You're saying Martín is here?
Yeah, he's here. He's waiting.
He's not coming in here?
No, he's doing it he's somewhere else in the ballpark.
Oh, wow. Look at him. He's so big. Like Martín Gallegos, speaking of old school, using his typewriter to do all these great articles for you. Martín, you're literally down the hall from me?
I'm staying in Tempe, so I'm actually in my room right now, but as soon as I'm done with this.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Super close by.
Have you been to this ballpark yet this year?
No, not this year. I'll be there today for the first time, yeah.
I got to kind of whisper this, but walking in here, it smells like death. Like it's not a good, the vibe is like, man, I mean, the Halos last year with Ron Washington, of course, we love Wash, and he was on our program, and, this is his second year, and he's talking about the young guys. That it's just like, you show up here and you look around and you're like, what are these guys doing around here? And we can't throw shade because we've had some really rough years ourselves throughout all the times we've been covering this team. But I mean, there was always like this goal for like what we could become. And we're on that now with the ballpark in Vegas, which is growing up in front of our eyes. It's going to be incredible. But here with the Angels, man, it's like, oh my God, what are they doing?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of feels like they've been stuck in like a purgatory type spot for so long. Like they don't, haven't really committed to fully rebuilding. They got some nice young players, but I don't think they've like fully committed to like saying, okay, we're gonna like kind of strip it down a little bit and take some time, like the A's did. The A's came out and just said, we got to rebuild this thing. We got to go out and develop all these guys. Now you're seeing them come up, and there's kind of a plan in place here. And it seems like, just looking from afar, I mean, obviously I'm not around the Angels a lot, but it just seems like there's been so much kind of uncertainty, so much, and Kurt Suzuki coming in on a 1-year deal. I think a lot of people around the league look at that as kind of weird. So yeah, they're in a tough spot. Obviously, with Trout not being who he was before, it's kind of tough to see him. I mean, it sounds like there's some excitement that he might be a little better this year, but I mean, yeah, they're not in a very desirable spot, it seems like, in terms of just kind of where the roster is, kind of what direction they're going in. It just seems like a lot of things are up in the air right now for them.
One of the interesting things is seeing Henry Bolte still in the lineup today. I mean, they're trying to give him as much run as possible. He's hitting .545 in his last 4 games. He's really hot. He's shown you everything that he's got. What do you do with him? I mean, is there an extra spot on this roster, or would you rather see him go down to AAA and watch him play every day?
I think that. I mean, you could put him on the roster, but he'd probably be like the 4th or 5th outfielder playing semi, a couple days a week. And I don't think that would be as useful for him as it would be to go down to AAA, because he's still, I mean, as great as he's looking right now, he's looking fantastic. Probably, arguably, if you were to give out like an MVP to this point in spring, he might be the guy. But there is still some parts of his game that he feels like he's still working on, like the swing and miss aspect of it. He's still doing some things with the swing. Obviously, I don't think he's ever going to like change too much who he is. That's kind of who he is. He's a swing and miss guy, but he's going to hit a lot of home runs. But I think there's still some valuable time for him at AAA to get down there, get the swing going. Obviously, at AAA, we see everybody go off. So I think it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world for him to start there, have a really good start down there, a couple months, get his bat going, get his rhythm going, And then, if there's a spot that opens up in May or June or something like that, call him up. I think he'd be the first guy that comes up whenever there's a need in the outfield. But yeah, I think to start him off playing a couple days a week here and there to start the year, I don't think that'd be great for him as it would be for him to start out at AAA.
We're always so foolish down here spring training where we 26-man roster, but you're dealing with human beings. So guys are going to get hurt. It's just a reality. Players get hurt, and he is a great option. And for the first time in a long time, I want you to talk about how when you start thinking about Junior Perez and you think about Henry Bolte, and you think about what you have with Soderstrom and Clark and Butler, Rooker still at times needs to go out and play some outfield. Cortez gives you a lot of flexibility. It's like there's more talent than there is spots. And it's been a long time since we've seen that.
No question. And I think, Colby Thomas in there as well. I know he's been dealing with an injury, but he's part of that too. I mean, I don't think since I've been covering this team, as far as outfield depth, I don't think I've ever seen it this stacked. I mean, there's multiple guys in there who are going to start the year in AAA who maybe on a lot of other teams would probably start the year as one of their starting outfielders. I mean, that's how good this group is right now. And it kind of makes you wonder, how do they find these guys playing time, right? At AAA, it's going to be stacked. At Major League level, it's going to be stacked. You never want injuries to happen, but of course, throughout the season, things are going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen, but I think all these guys, we're going to see them get an opportunity to show what they can do. Right now in spring training, it's been actually worked out really well for them with all the guys that are down on the WBC, a couple guys that are working their way back from injury that we get to see the Boltes and the Perezes and the Ryan Lascos and getting to see what they can do. But yeah, specifically those guys, Perez and Bolte, I mean, those guys are major league ready almost, a little bit in swing and miss, both of them, like I said, but if they needed them, like say, obviously you don't want this to happen, but at the end of spring training, you need to add one of those guys to the roster. I mean, I don't think there'd be any hesitation to add them and feeling very comfortable about them starting for them on opening day in Toronto.
Yeah, you mentioned Lasco. There's no question he's got the hit tool. He makes some serious contact.
Yeah, the contact guy, still working on adding a little bit more power, but yeah, the defense as well. I mean, we saw him throw. Kotsay was really impressed the other day. He threw out a guy from left field in the corner. It was kind of like a laser classic, like that Ramon Laureano throw almost from the outfield to third, just a seed to third base. So yeah, they've got some talent out there, not just with the bat, but I mean, these guys are really good defensively, which obviously we all know the A's, could improve in the defensive aspect of their team. And, these outfielders, all these guys could step in and play really good major league defense right now.
All right. So we've talked a lot about Leo DeVries. Now I've got to see him for a couple games and I'm watching him and I'm like, and I don't want to put the cart before the horse, but I'm like, this guy could be the team's best all-around player in a very short time. He's 19 years old. I'm like, what he's going to look like at 20 and 21. I'm not even talking about his prime at 26. What he can look like in the next 2 years as a 21-year-old, 22. It's like, oh, wow, this is something really, really different. But forget me. Forget what are the A's some of the veteran players and some of our younger, better players. What are the players in the clubhouse saying about Leo DeVries?
I mean, I think everyone I talked to that, I asked about him, they all say that this guy looks special. And, I talked to some of his guys, some of his teammates that he had at AA when he went up there last year for the playoff run. They all talked about how this guy just came in and was electric, from the start. Like everything he does, whether it's at the plate, on defense, running the bases, it looks different especially than your average 19-year-old. I mean, it's crazy. You don't think this guy's 19 when you watch him step on the field. He's so advanced, it seems like, at the plate. I mean, when you look at him take at bats, he doesn't look like a guy who's a minor leaguer going up there against major league pitching. When you see him play defense, he looks so polished out there. Strong arm. I mean, all the tools to handle shortstop. So yeah, everyone just has glowing reviews, especially the guys who haven't really seen him much before this year. Obviously, the minor league guys saw him a little bit more playing with him. But yeah, I think some of the guys who are on this team that have got to see him a little bit more in the starting lineup now, I think they all see, this guy's going to be really good. And it's only a matter of time before he gets up here and helps his team. But yeah, I mean, if you think about just kind of what he's projected to be, right? I mean, you never know if these guys are going to fully pan out. But I mean, if he lives up to what everybody thinks he's going to do, yeah, I mean, this guy could be a legit superstar, not just on the A's, but a guy who's kind of one of MLB's top young stars, especially if he comes up to the league at like 19 or 20, which is a very good possibility. I mean, he's got a long career ahead of him.
Well, I'll tell you this. It was the game against the Padres in Peoria. I like to watch how young men conduct themselves, young men and women. All right, we're in a business. How do you conduct yourself at work? And when you're going to be a real special player, which means like a leader, I think of guys now as billboard guys because nobody has more billboards coming out of the airport than Las Vegas. Who are we going to be putting on all those billboards? Who's going to be next to Beyonce and Bruno Mars and Garth Brooks as they all have their residencies there, right? And you see those billboards. Which players are we going to put up there? So Leo, after he was done playing against the Padres, remember he just came for some people. We got him from San Diego. So he's leaving the game early. He walks by the Padres, immediately walks over to the Padres dugout. Like this is in between innings. I don't know if anybody's watching, but I'm watching. And he's going up and he's hugging all of the coaches, hugging the players. They're doing the bro high five and the hugs. This is a 19-year-old who has been with the Padres now for a few years, clearly developed a relationship as a young man with grown men who are the coaches, with the guys at the big club level. He just came to us. So he was doing this as a 17 and 18-year-old. I think what I saw there tells you a lot about how mature he is now with the A's. And we had you on the broadcast yesterday. You talked about how he feels like it's a family and he's now part of our family. You get to talk to him a lot. Knowing what I saw, how he exited and those relationships he built in with the Padres tells me a lot about his maturity. Speak to that, what you've learned about him. He's just not some dynamic super athlete. There's something to this kid beyond the athleticism.
Oh yeah, no question. I mean, I think I mentioned this on the broadcast. Like it's not like talking to I've talked to other 19-year-olds, right, who are coming up through the system. It's just different. Like they don't talk like this guy. They don't conduct themselves like this guy. Not that they don't conduct themselves in a bad way, but just so the polish on this guy for a 19-year-old, it's like, he knows where he's going. Like he knows he's going to be a star, and he's not cocky about it. But it's like kind of this confidence that you feel it, and you saw it the way that all the Padres people were greeting him. And I'll tell you this, when he went back into the clubhouse, I could tell he was fired up for the day. Like he was playing. I know it was only spring training, and it's not like he has any ill will towards the Padres. Like he loves the chance that they gave him, but he had a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. Like he went out there to prove something. It was different. Like I could just sense it the way he was talking in the clubhouse, and I know he was really happy about getting those 2 hits against them, and then making a really nice play on defense right before he exited the game. So it's the type of guy. You see it with all these stars, right? They find things to like get them going. And yeah. I think for him that day, when I saw him at Hohokam before we left for the ballpark, you could just sense it. Like he the way he went out there for the practice field, like it was a different day. It was not your normal spring training day for him. And he rose to the occasion. I mean, he went up there and got a couple knocks. I mean, he had a good game. So he kind of, I think he went out there trying to prove something that, hey, what, you guys, gave me a shot. You guys traded me. Now, you know what, I'm playing against you. It's I'm on this side now. This is my new family. You said that day, the A's are my new family. I love this team. And, I'm just excited to play with all these, young stars on this team. But that day was different for him. He had a chip on his shoulder for sure.
There is something to be said. Like people, when the bright lights go on, they raise their game up. And if that is Leo, he's going to be good. That's why I just want to say it now. I understand Nick Kurtz is about to be one of the best offensive players in baseball. Nick Kurtz is really good on defense, but first base defense is not the same as shortstop. And I don't know if he'll be the shortstop. Could be Jacob Wilson. How we'll work that. But don't be a couple of years from now, don't be shocked if we're saying our best all-around player on the team is Leo DeVries. And that's saying a lot when you got Tyler Soderstrom's coming into his own, Shea Langoliers, what he does at catcher, Brent Rooker's been a monster, Kurtz is going to be a monster, but this skill set of Leo all around is unbelievable. Handicap the third base, where we are mid-spring training. That's one thing that people have looked at. We were looking at second, but Jeff McNeil shows up. He's going to be second. Handicap third base for us right now.
Yeah, I think it's still really tough. I mean, it's hard to gauge like where they stand on that. There's not one guy that's, regularly getting all the time over there, to start games. We see Max Muncy over there a lot. Obviously, Darryl Hernandez is away on the WBC, but he's very much still in that mix. I mean, they're keeping a very close eye on him and how he plays in that tournament. And Andy Ibanez, I think, is a guy who a lot, Katse was really glowing about him when I asked him about him. Maybe last week, I think, just talking about playing against him with the Rangers and the Tigers. They've always really liked him a lot, and they like the way he's looked over at third. He is a little bit more of a utility guy, so I think he could make this roster even in more of a utility role if he's not the starting third baseman. But I think it's still really close. I mean, Max Muncy, we know what he could do at the plate, and he's having a really good spring offensively. He's hit some bombs. He's hitting lasers all over the place. I think the defense is still something they're kind of trying to figure out. Can he handle this on an everyday basis? I know he's working hard over there, but still, I think when you look at him at third, there's still some work to be done there. Same thing with Darryl Hernandez. I know he was working hard on it, and he's going to be playing, I think, a lot of shortstop and second for Puerto Rico. So that's going to be interesting to see kind of how he makes his way back into this group when he comes back and handles third base. But yeah, right now I think Muncy was probably the guy going into spring. I don't think it's changed, but I think it's really close. I mean, it could still go. That's going to be one that I think comes down to really close, maybe the last week of spring. There's 3 options that they feel really good about right now.
And whoever goes to AAA, it's like there's certain guys, if you're Mark Kotze, aren't you telling these guys, hey, listen, you didn't make the team now, but don't be shocked if we're calling you really soon.
Yeah, no question. I think for the guy, especially for the guys that have already been here a couple of years, like Darryl Hernandez, like he knows, last year he went down to AAA out of spring training. Obviously wasn't, excited about that, but I think he knew, he goes down to AAA and performs, he'll get a shot. Sure enough, he was down in AAA hitting like 300. Jacob Wilson goes down. He comes up, gets his opportunity, fills in for Jacob Wilson, and plays so well that even when Jacob Wilson comes back, he stayed on the team the rest of the year. And he performed well, left a good impression on them, and he came into spring, with a lot of momentum. He felt really good about where he was at the plate, and he was having a really good spring with the A's. His games that bats that I saw before he left for WBC. So yeah, I mean, especially the guys that have been here, they know how things work here. They know, obviously they're going to be upset, a little disappointed if they don't make the team out of spring. But I mean, we've seen enough, years here where that it's kind of all hands on deck. If you're on the 40-man roster, especially, there's a really good chance that you're going to come up and contribute, or at least get a chance to play with this team at some point this season.
I gotta think Jeff McNeil is standing at his locker, and you come walking up, and he looks around and he just goes, "It's just you." This is a guy who was playing for the Mets for all these years, where before every game and after every single game, it's multiple television cameras. It's all these beat writers, and they're playing the gotcha game. They're trying to get you to slip. They're trying to get you to say something. They're constantly in that clubhouse looking, well, why isn't he playing cards with him? And why isn't he talking? They're looking for an edge. They're looking for a story because they want to have headlines in the New York papers. The headlines sell. Does the story matter? No, they want the headline because the headlines, people are, on the streets of New York, there's millions of people and they see those headlines and they want to buy the paper. So they're searching for something that'll give you the headline. He has to be like, oh, thank God. Martín Gallegos, you're the guy I got to deal with. What's it been like so far? Veteran player. I think he's immediately going to kind of be kind of like that Gristle kind of veteran leader for us. I think he's going to help Brent Rooker. What's it been like covering him so far?
It's been great. So far, I mean, early impressions, he's a really nice guy. Obviously a California guy. And yeah, we kind of joked about that first couple of days of spring where I kind of went up to him. I had met him through Zoom, but I introduced myself to him and I was like, yeah, I'm probably going to be the only guy you see like on a daily basis during the regular season. And he kind of joked like, oh, when we go to New York, I'm only going to let you talk to me and none of the New York media. So he's got a good sense of humor about it. I think it's night and day, obviously the media stuff, and what he had to deal with to hear. And, but yeah, he's been really cool about that. And yeah, just the way he's fit in, it's been pretty seamless to me. I mean, I feel like early on, he was here before position players were supposed to report along with a lot of the other guys. And it seems like he just fit in really well with that group. Obviously, he's a little older than the other, core guys of this team. But, it seems like him and Jacob Wilson, especially being double play partners, I think they've really, gotten a good relationship going. And obviously, they're pretty similar players on offense as well. The bat-to-ball skills, that's going to be fun seeing them, whether they bat back-to-back in the order or just, having two guys on the field who have similar profiles like that will be good for this lineup. But, yeah, I think he's fit in really well. He's not, rah-rah guy. He's pretty – seems like he's pretty chill, low key, but definitely a good resource for those other hitters in there, especially a guy like Jacob Wilson, like I said, who's so similar in the way that they go about their offense. I mean, it's going to be so great for those guys to learn from a guy like that, and all the infielders too as well, just for a guy who has played in New York, has played in big games, has played different positions, and he's open to playing different positions too. Like, I know he's here for the everyday second base job, but if he has to play third, if he has to play outfield, he's done that before, and he's willing to do that again. He just wants to be part of this team and help them try to win. And he knows he's here on a short-term deal, but I think he feels the energy that's in the clubhouse, and I think he's pretty excited about what could happen with this group this year.
No question, he speaks the same language as Jacob Wilson. I think it's going to be great for Jacob. Also, last year you got Severino's the leader of the pitching staff, and you got Brent Rooker as kind of the overall leader. How much do you think Jeff can help Brent Rooker when there are some tough times to be multiple veteran voices in that clubhouse?
Yeah, I think it's big to have another guy in that similar ilk. I mean, Brent Rooker, as much as we consider him a veteran, he still, hasn't been in the big leagues for too long, like season-wise. Like, he was up and down a lot, obviously, before he joined the A's, and he's not a guy who's hasn't played in the playoffs yet. So I think Jeff brings that extra element to where he's played in New York, he's played in the postseason before, he's played in big games. He knows how to deal with the media stuff that might come if there's some controversy or something. Not that there's ever really much controversy on this team, but he's been kind of through all that stuff, and I think it's so valuable for everybody in that clubhouse, and even a guy like a Brent Rooker who, like we said, has a little bit more seasoning than the other younger guys, but still, I mean, he'll tell you himself, like there's still some things in this game that he's still kind of learning. He definitely is a leader on this team, no question. But I mean, I think he'll tell you that he's probably going to learn some things from Jeff McNeil as well. And they're actually locker mates. So I mean, they talk to each other every day in spring training. Their lockers are right next to each other, so it seems like they have a good relationship going as well. All right,
you got a couple more weeks before we're going to see you. You ready for the start of the season? All these road games, all these road trips.
Going to rack up those miles and those hotel points. Love that. But yeah, it's going to be a grind of a early part of the schedule, man. It's not an easy thing to go through, but it's some good cities at least.
You better bring your long johns.
always got them.
Yeah, it's that's the other thing. It's like normally, okay, you may have some. It's not going to when they hit New York. Now, obviously, Toronto's inside, but when they hit New York, and who knows what Atlanta will be like, but they're going to hit they're going to hit some weather early in the season.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, it's going to be it's a little chilly out there for sure. I mean, they had some cold games last year when they went to Colorado early in the season, then Chicago.
Yeah, snow
in Colorado. So I guess in some ways they're kind of maybe prepared for that, but yeah, it's always a little bit more difficult. I feel like there's a lot more weird things that happen in those games. So we'll see what happens.
You're doing an outstanding job this spring, no question. All the articles. I didn't even get into Kyle Murray. Oh God, no.
Too much going on.
All right, great stuff, my man. We'll see you here at the ballpark.
All right, Towny.
Do not tell me the Heisman Trophy winner wants to come back. No. Next on A's Cast Live.
Baseball is back, and big league action has never been more affordable. For a limited time, grab your tickets to see the A's in West Sacramento for just $8. That's right, only $8 for select games this April and May. Catch the showdowns against the Royals, Cardinals, and American League West rivals, the Mariners and the Rangers. Whether it's a midweek getaway or an afternoon at the park, don't miss your chance to see your A's for less than the price of a ballpark snack. Tickets are moving fast. Head to athletics.com, that's athletics.com, to secure your seats today. Tyler Soderstrom joined Chris Townsend to talk about his breakout 2025 season, his new 7-year contract extension, and his commitment to the future of the Athletics.
There was some conversation right at the end of the season last year with what they were planning to come to us with, so we had a good idea. I knew that they were going to come to us with something in November, and they came with their first offer. Everything is a negotiating process, so there was that whole process. My agent, Garrett Parcell, did a great job at Paragon Sports of kind of let me and my wife and my family just kind of sit back and let them kind of handle all of the whole process of it. And we ended up coming to terms. So it was something that I wanted to do. I mean, I love this organization. I got drafted by them. My relationships that I've built, that's what's important to me. So I'm just excited, to be here for the long term. And, like I said, just super blessed.
You can watch the full interview at youtube.com/athletics or listen at athletics.com/A'sCast.
Secure your spot for priority access to 2028 season tickets at the A's Ballpark in Las Vegas for just $19.01. The amount honors the founding year of the Athletics franchise in 1901. By joining the priority list, you'll get an early opportunity to grab season tickets before they go on sale to the public, while also supporting youth baseball and softball programs across Southern Nevada. To secure your spot, visit athletics.com/Vegas. The time is now. Grab your sunglasses, A's gear, and get ready for some fun in the sun. Spring training is back as the Athletics get ready for the 2026 season. Now's the time to make plans to catch us in Mesa, Arizona, and enjoy the sunshine of your family and friends. Grab your tickets for the best seats at the lowest prices as your green and gold take on the Dodgers, Giants, Cubs, Padres, and more at Hohokam Stadium. Don't wait. Get your tickets at athletics.com/spring. That's athletics.com/spring. Secure your spot for priority access to 2028 A's season tickets in Las Vegas for just $19.01, honoring the franchise's 1901 founding year. Join the list for early ticket opportunities and support youth baseball and softball in Southern Nevada. Visit athletics.com/Vegas.
The A's YouTube page is your go-to destination for A's video content. Get access.
Streaming from the studio, A's Cast Live continues with Chris Townsend.
All right, you got me?
We got you.
The Athletics are entering the building as we speak.
That's what, like a 15-minute ride from Mesa?
I have no idea. Couldn't tell you. I'm staying in Tempe. I'm staying at the Omni. So our ride over here was like 5 minutes, maybe a little bit more. So from Mesa, I couldn't tell you.
Oh, well, I'm just going to assume. Real quick, let's pause 10 seconds for station ID right here on A's Cast. Okay. Yeah, I want to assume it's like 15 or depending on traffic. I don't know. My Arizona geography and I use Google Maps everywhere I go. Everything's 15 minutes away in Arizona.
Everything, you don't know where. Are we in Tempe? Are we in Mesa? Are we in Scottsdale? Are we in Phoenix? I don't know. It all looks the same. So the whole area, the valley, is all on grids, right? So everywhere you go is a four-way stop. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
They're not like old school, like when you get in certain parts of Scottsdale, but a lot of Arizona is just one big grid. And so everywhere, everything's a planned community at some point. You got to remember, Arizona, we learned this when we went to the ghost town. Arizona didn't become a state until 1912. I mean, everything's planned out, so it's like, where am I? I don't know. But quickly back to do we really care about the manager ejection anymore?
I mean, only one manager in baseball really gets thrown out of a game that's kind of brings some hilarity to it is Aaron Boone. Other than that, who gets thrown? I mean, when it happens in West Sacramento, it's odd because the manager has to walk down the third base line to get to the clubhouse. But still, other than that, I mean, if you don't see Aaron Boone getting thrown,
you know what though? It's only odd for you guys, and it's the haters that still want to go. Oh my God, what do you think happened at Candlestick Park for all those years at Giants games? See, you never went to a Giants game at Candlestick Park, did you?
No.
So you guys don't even remember. This is not as odd as. We've had people, I can't believe this. How could you do this? This isn't baseball. It's like, you guys are morons. All those years at Candlestick Park, if Tommy Lasorda, what's his name with the Braves? All-time leader. Bobby Cox, they would get ejection. They would have to walk down the right field line because you had to walk down the right field line in play to get to the opposing clubhouse. You think this is the only time that's happened in baseball history? Happened every single home game that a opposing manager was thrown out of Candlestick Park. He had to walk down the right field line. So this whole people have tried to make it this dramatic thing in Sacramento. Nobody was bitching about it for how many years did the Giants play at Candlestick Park?
A long time. I don't know exactly, but over 30 years, I would assume.
Yeah, but these young trolls on Twitter weren't old enough to remember that the Giants played at Candlestick Park. And when Willie Mays and, they were playing back then, guess what? The managers of the opposing team, when they got thrown out, they had to walk down the right field line. It's happened in multiple ballparks.
Didn't Tommy Lasorda used to blow kisses at the fans on the way to
So the way it worked is that at Candlestick Park, the home and the road were across from each other. That's where I have that famous, not famous, but for me famous interview that my old partner Larry Krueger and I did with Vin Scully. We were coming out of the Giants. He was coming out of the Dodgers. And I was like, I'm asking him. I mean, what's the worst he's going to do? Say no? Vin Scully came out. I said, hey, we're doing the Giants pregame. It would be an honor. Vin Scully ended up doing like a 20-minute interview with us. We could only play like 5 minutes of it, but it was like 20 minutes. The man gave us 20 minutes of his time to two young broadcasters, told you everything you needed to know about who Vin Scully was. He gave everybody time. He was a legend. But anyway, the clubhouses faced each other, and the Niners locker room was just down the hallway. So that same hallway, so the Giants dugout, the Giants clubhouse actually had a connection to their dugout. But the opposing baseball team and the Niners would come out of the same tunnel. And that was down the right field line for baseball. So you'd come out deep right down the right field line. Tommy Lasorda would come walking out, and he'd come all the way down the first base line blowing kisses at the Giants fans. It was hilarious. Now that's theater. Now that is something we don't have anymore. Because we got a bunch of people who are they're not entertainers. Tommy Lasorda was an entertainer, and it was funny to watch. Yeah, so getting thrown out and going to the clubhouse on the field is not something new. So I just, this whole, we're worried about ABS. Tell you what, the theater in baseball now, late in games with guys challenging, is going to be far greater theater in baseball than a manager getting thrown out.
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
these things, I can't wait. We're going to be sitting there at the ballpark in West Sacramento, and it's going to be the 8th inning, and there's 3 runners on, and Lawrence Butler's at the plate, and a pitch is thrown, and Lawrence Butler's going to go boop, challenge, and we're going to be like, oh my God, I hope he's right. I mean, it's going to be great theater.
It's like I said, other than Aaron Boone getting thrown out of a game every once in a while, and the joke is, he's nowhere near catching Bobby Cox for managerial ejections all time. But other than that, you really don't see managers getting thrown out. I mean, yeah, the newer managers, like the younger guys that are managing for, like, okay, it'll be cool to see like Kurt Suzuki, for example, get thrown out of his first game as a manager. But I mean, after like the first couple times, you really sit there and go, man, I really want to see Kurt Suzuki get thrown out of this game today.
If he's going to go out and air people out and pick up bags and throw them into the outfield and do all those shenanigans, I'm in. But now it's just basically, I come out, I'm mad, I yell at you, you yell at me, you get thrown out and you leave. They're not entertaining anymore. This isn't Earl Weaver, every expletive in the book, because now all these guys know that we pick up everything that you say. So how many times now, it was like one time Rocco Baldelli came out and I was watching TV. He's got his hand over his mouth because he doesn't want you knowing what he's saying, because these guys are going to get fined. And if you go crazy and it's expletive after expletive, so stop it. I know I should have asked him. We were up against it. This Kyle Murray thing, just stop. Just stop.
I have a question for you after you go through it too about Kyler Murray.
And one of the reasons why? Because I'm not sure This is something we would really want to invest. Now, David Force is going to say the political thing. Of course he could come. And have you heard anything good about Kyler Murray in Arizona?
He doesn't study. He plays a lot of video games. They haven't won anything. So no, nothing ever positive about the kid.
Has there ever been anything glowing? This is a guy, your quarterback is your franchise leader. Like it or not, he's the face of the franchise. And if you don't got one, you're searching for one. It is literally the most important position in American sports. Can you even name me another? Hockey goalie is really important. I always defend the hockey goalie because he's the guy that stops the puck. I mean,
I agree with you.
He is your last line of defense, but he's not the star of your team, right? Is there any position in American sport? Now, hard to compare. You got to say team sports because if you're a race car driver or you're a golfer or you're a tennis player, it's an individual sport. But still, is there any bigger position in American sports than quarterback in the National Football League?
I think quarterback is leaps and bounds ahead of. No, I'm with you about goalies. I mean, we saw what Connor Hellebuck did for Team USA in the Olympics. But yeah, it's quarterback, and to me, it's not even close.
Okay, so you're the most scrutinized. So he's been scrutinized, and there's not been many things that are positive that have been said about Kyler Murray. I'm just saying. You want to bring that in? Now entitled with millions of dollars in the bank? Is that what you want to bring into your clubhouse? You got a young, budding star group. Our core is a bunch of young, budding stars. And some are not young. Like Shea Langoliers is in his prime. You got Brent Rooker, who's the established leader. And Brent Rooker has alluded to with us that he's training this group so they'll be the leaders, right? I mean, Brent Rooker is very humble with his answers, but they all look to Rooker. Rooker's the dude. Jeff McNeil's coming in. Jeff McNeil's a hard-nosed guy. These are baseball hard-nosed guys. Once again, find me the articles praising Kyle Murray as face of the franchise quarterback, great leader, leader of men, guy you rally around. I don't know if you're going to find any. There's a lot of questions about his character. There's a lot of questions about who he is. When he left Oklahoma, go look up his stats. He didn't even hit 300. He was a pure potential guy. Pop, athleticism through the roof. We know that. I think he hit like 296 or 286. I think it's something 86. 296 or 286, something like that.
Kyler Murray in 2018 for the Oklahoma Sooners in 51 games hit 296 with 10 homers and 47 runs driven in and a 954 OPS.
That ain't a big deal. You got guys in college baseball hitting 340 go look at Mark Kotze's stats. You want to look at he was a project. Kyle Murray was going to be a project for the Athletics. You were drafting an extremely talented athlete. There is no question Kyler Murray's skill set is the athleticism. We've watched him. He's eluded those monsters in the NFL for years. His feet, his movement, his lateral, his speed, crazy. But what are you bringing? Like, if he was to show up, what's he bringing? Dude, if you can't be a great – I'm not saying he's a bad teammate. I'm not going there. I'm just saying there's been chatter, and there's more chatter in the NFL than any other sport. There hasn't been glowing reviews about who he is other than his athleticism.
Yeah, and he doesn't prepare.
You want to bring that in when a guy has millions of dollars in the bank, and I'm telling you, when you got somebody who's got millions of dollars in the bank and he's been in the NFL, there's going to be a boatload of entitlement. Boatload. and now he hasn't played in years. I get it. You're going to get clicks off the article. I get it. Would you want to see that? I mean, do we really think we're sitting here talking about Denzel Clark, Henry Bolte? We're now going to take a guy. What was his last year in Oklahoma?
2018. He was 20. He's now 28.
Because he came back and played. So after the baseball season, he came back and played football and was the Heisman Trophy winner.
Yes.
That was in 19?
Yeah, his first year with the Cardinals, I think, was
the COVID year or 19?
I'm going to double check. I want to say I think he got drafted in 20. He won the Heisman in 2018, so his first year in the NFL was 2019.
What was his last year of playing baseball at Oklahoma?
It says on here 2018.
2018. It's 2016, man.
It was 8 years ago.
Did I just go?
He went back. It's okay.
Did oh yeah, 2020. Did I just go Brad Pitt? What are we talking about, man?
Yeah, it's
2026. What you're gonna bring in? You're gonna bring in? How old is Kyler Murray?
He's 28. His first year in the NFL was 2019. So he would have played the baseball season in the spring of 2018, then played football in 2018, won the Heisman, gets drafted, goes to the Cardinals, and had how many winning seasons as the guy at the helm for the Cardinals, the quarterback, did he have? How many winning seasons in 7 years did Kyler Murray have?
2.
1. He was 95.
It was a guess.
Yeah. He had one 500 year, then he had one winning season. He only played 14 games that year.
I don't even know if people care about this. So I don't know if we should really even be talking about all that much. I'm just saying, I'm like, I saw that and I'm like, no.
Well,
and you know what? And if he proved me wrong, if Kyle Murray just showed up and he was the greatest guy in the world and he's starting in center field, I mean, but I just, where we're going, we don't need distractions. Where this team is, we've had more distractions than any professional franchise in sports. We've had more distractions than anybody. More than any NFL, NBA, hockey, or baseball team. The Athletics have had the biggest distractions. We need to be done with that. We have the distraction of all those years in Oakland. Then we have the distractions of leaving Oakland. Then we have the distractions of Sacramento. This is the first year in a long time we don't have distractions. It's going to be like, hey, everybody kind of knows. The ballpark is going to look, the ballpark, all the chatter. I mean, that's why it's like amazing, but it is what these social media platforms are. Twitter told you, we're not really about being right. It's like the public square. Anybody can say anything. There's no policing the public square. Anybody can put their thoughts out there. That's what this platform is. And everybody can say all this stuff. You're starting to hear I don't follow it anymore. I follow it actually through Cody, but the chatter about the ballpark's not happening in Vegas. You're like, you guys, they're going away because it was just like with the Raiders when back in the day, Allegiant Stadium will never, they didn't have the name yet, but the stadium will never happen in Vegas. Then all of a sudden you saw it being built, right? And the same thing's happening now. I told you, these people are angry, and I understand that they're angry. And we had the other broadcast teams come into Sacramento last year and take cheap shots at you, but it's all going to go away when they all start seeing the building come up from the ground. We've had people go, have they put shovels in the ground? Oh, trust me, by the time all these play-by-play people come to Sacramento, they're going to be seeing and it's going to be like, oh yeah, this is really happening. And then they're going to be kissing our ass, telling us we have the best ballpark in 2028. That's when we may remind some of them, bring them on the program. Hey, remember when you were saying this?
Exactly.
So I'm just saying, we don't need distractions. We've had more distractions than anybody else. We're trying to get out of the distraction business. We want to have normalcy. That's what we need to strive for. And hopefully that's what we've kind of given you here with A's Cast, is we've given you something that other teams don't have, and we've given you some more normalcy because we talk baseball and about the team. But is the last thing we need is something like bringing in a 29-year-old guy like Kyle Murray? I think we need to think long and hard. And I'm not trying to be a hot take guy. I'm just saying I think we really need to realize our franchise, for our players, for our front office, for our ownership, for the employees, us the employees, sanity, normalcy is healthy. Because we've had a lot of unhealthy things. When we talk about mental health, we've had a lot of, we've had threats, physical threats. We've had a lot of craziness in our lives. We need normalcy. We don't need distractions anymore. We need to strive for that. And we're on a great path. We'll be in Vegas this weekend. We just got to see in a full staff meeting, we got to see new pictures of the ballpark and how much higher it's gone up since I was last there. The Tyler Soderstrom signing. Yeah, let's stay on the path of normalcy, no distractions, positive. That's what I would do. I don't run the franchise though, but that's what I would do. And Kyler Murray, reality is somebody's going to sign him. Just him as a backup, Cody. If your starting quarterback goes down and you go, well, go out there and run around and make plays, it's not a bad option.
And the thing that people keep bearing with him too is, I believe if I read it correctly, the Cardinals are going to cover his contract. So you sign him at like the league minimum. So if you're a team like, a team like the Jets or Miami who wants to rebuild, or you're a team like, say, the 49ers trade Mac Jones away and they need a backup quarterback, why not bring him in? Say the Rams need a backup quarterback for Stafford, why not bring in Kyler Murray for the league minimum and you have him as a guy that backs up for league? I don't think the baseball thing, I get it. Like, it's going to get clicks for sure because it's Kyler Murray and he was a first-round pick and all that stuff. But yeah, I don't think – plus the question I was going to ask you is if he was here and he came back, would he be on the spring breakout roster, or is he too old?
No.
He's 28.
It kind of reminds you of like BYU back in the day when players would go do the Mormon mission and they'd come back to play for BYU and they could be like 25 years old, 26 years old, right? There's some guy in college football right now. Is it at USC is going to have his 9th season?
It's somewhere, yeah. I remember seeing he's in his. I was like,
it's his 9th season. I think it's USC. He's like a linebacker or something like that. There is a guy that's going to be in his 9th season of college football. However, I've seen the article.
It's like at that point you're 27 years old. You'd be 27 years old playing college football still.
So Kyler Murray's 28.
28, yeah.
What was he? Was he the 11th or the 10th pick?
Kyler. Oh, for baseball, I think he was. Wasn't he like the 8th pick?
I think it was the 10th or the 11th.
Let's see. He was the 9th overall pick.
9th overall pick. Wow.
Yeah. And now he's going to probably be about. He might start for a team like the Jets or team rebuilding.
Ooh.
Go ahead. You couldn't handle the scrutiny in Arizona. You couldn't handle the scrutiny in Arizona. Now, hey, let's go bring you in and play for the Jets.
Oh, man. I don't wish that on anybody.
Hell, even the Steelers need a quarterback, but I don't know if I want Kyler Murray playing quarterback. I don't know.
I remember when we drafted him and we interviewed him, and I'm like, I was almost eye to eye with him. I'm like, wow, he is really short.
Yeah, they have him listed on Pro Football Reference. They have him listed at 5'10". I don't think he's 5'10".
I could have swore I was eye to eye with him. And I'm 5'9" in shoes. Like, I remember if you go back and look at that video, we have that on video, right?
I'm not sure. That was 2018, so it was right before I got here. So it might be.
So it was just 95-7 the game then.
Yeah. So
that's how long ago it has been, fans. We were just 95-7 the game. And I remember doing the interview with Kyle Murray, and of course, I know I'm a big college football guy. I knew exactly, like, okay. And I was like, I'm doing the interview and we're eye to eye. And I'm like, how's this guy going to play quarterback? There's no way. Well, remember when I interviewed him, he was done with football, right? He was committed to baseball. And then after he left, I went, yeah, I'm going to see. Because if you remember, he wasn't the clear-cut starter after he leaves us. And Billy Beane says, yeah, you can go play football. That's cool. If he wasn't going to be the starter, he went into spring football not the guaranteed starter. I can't remember who was he battling against. Didn't we have who was the guy that we had that was the Oklahoma quarterback?
That would have been Cody Thomas.
Cody Thomas. But I don't think Cody was there at the time.
Because Baker came after. I want to say, wasn't the kid that ended up going to Texas A&M?
I remember there was another guy there. So Kyler was not the clear-cut starter in spring football. He ends up winning the job. And Billy Beane had no idea that he was going to go on, and the next, the guy's going to win the Heisman. He's going to be, and Cliff Kingsbury's going to be like, we've got to draft him. So nobody knew that was going to. So when I interviewed him, he was drafted. He was going to play baseball. That was his path. And then he's like, maybe I'll give the quarterback one little shot, see if I can win the job. Because if he didn't win the job, he was going to commit to baseball full time. And then he won the job, and then he won the Heisman. And the rest is history.
And then let me make sure. Was he the number 1 overall pick in football? Yeah,
yes.
Number 1 overall pick in football.
Cliff Kingsbury.
What a run of success the Oklahoma Sooners had at Heisman Trophy quarterbacks.
Oh, Baker, baby. Jason White, Joe Dirt.
Remember him? Jason White. He was on the team that went to the national title game.
Yeah. All righty. Coming up next, are we doing the?
We can do Caray, then we can end with either Gunnar Hoglund or Braden Nett because they're both going to be on the spring breakout roster. So
Wonder Boy's next.
Yeah, we'll do Wonder Boy next.
It must be nice. I sit here, I do all this work, I get us ready for the game, everything. He just sits here, has lunch, he's talking to everybody. Man, it's a sweet life these play-by-play guys have. and now think about it. Think about this for a moment. What's the average game time?
2 hours and 40 minutes, 30 minutes, something like that.
Remember back in the day because basically baseball teams and all of our broadcasts got much bigger, right? Pre-game shows, talk shows, all of that. But back in the day, broadcasters would do a 15-minute pregame, and then they would do, games are 3 hours. Well, they just come on first pitch. So our play-by-play guys literally only work 2 hours and 30 minutes. We're on way longer than the play-by-play guys. We're on way longer than the game.
Well, when you're Johnny D and you run the broadcast, you pretty much tell everyone what to do. So
these guys sit around, they eat, they hang out, then they talk for 2.5 hours. And by the way, do you know how many commercial breaks are on during a game?
There's a lot. Every half inning.
They're not even on for 2.5 hours. These play-by-play guys hardly work. We talk about it next right here on A's Cast Live.
The time is now. Grab your sunglasses, A's gear, and get ready for some fun in the sun. Spring training is back as the Athletics get ready for the 2026 season. Now's the time to make plans to catch us in Mesa, Arizona, and enjoy the sunshine of your family and friends. Grab your tickets for the best seats at the lowest prices as your green and gold take on the Dodgers, Giants, Cubs, Padres, and more at Ho-Ho-Cam Stadium. Don't wait. Get your tickets at athletics.com/spring. That's athletics.com/spring.
Secure your spot for priority access to 2028 season tickets at the A's Ballpark in Las Vegas for just $19.01. The amount honors the founding year of the Athletics franchise in 1901. By joining the priority list, you'll get an early opportunity to grab season tickets before they go on sale to the public, while also supporting youth baseball and softball programs across Southern Nevada. To secure your spot, visit athletics.com/Vegas.
Unlock offers and receive exclusive in-game features by downloading the MLB Ballpark app for iPhone and Android today. Plus, get the latest information on game time, schedules, and more. The A's YouTube page is your go-to destination for A's video content. Get access to great highlights, exclusive behind-the-scenes content, classic games, A's Cast Live, and more. Visit youtube.com/athletics.
Baseball is back and big league action has never been more affordable. For a limited time, grab your tickets to see the A's in West Sacramento for just $8. That's right, only $8 for select games this April and May. Catch the showdowns against the Royals, Cardinals, and American League West rivals, the Mariners and the Rangers. Whether it's a midweek getaway or an afternoon at the park, don't miss your chance to see your A's for less than the price of a ballpark snap. Tickets are moving fast. Head to athletics.com, that's athletics.com, to secure your seats today. American League Rookie of the Year Nick Kurtz joined Chris Townsend on A's Cast Live to discuss his historic 2025 campaign and becoming the first Athletic to win the award since 2009.
Yeah, it was awesome. You know, when it kind of got announced, we were all in Hawaii together. You know, Willie was in the same room as me when we were on the show, so that was really cool to kind of, celebrate, as a team.
When you look back, what do you think of when you look back in this Rookie of the Year season? You had the monstrous game in Houston, historic game. What are the things that you really reflected on?
Just kind of the whole year as a whole. When you look at any kind of season, you have, the parts where you feel really good at the plate. You have the days where you feel really bad, and then the majority is you're just trying to do what you can do that day to put the ball in play and get a base hit. It's not a good day if you don't get the team win as well. So that's kind of what I've reflected the most about is, I did all these great things, but it's got to lead to October. And that's the most important thing.
You can watch the full interview at youtube.com/athletics or listen at athletics.com/A'sCast.
A's Cast Live continues from the studio. Here's Chris Townsend.
Well, now joining me here at Diablo Stadium, we're going to have the call for you in exactly 1/2 hour. It is going to be the Athletics and the Angels with the Leo DeVries of our broadcast team. Well, you'd be the Nick Kurtz, actually. You're already at the big leagues. You're the Nick Kurtz of the broadcast team.
I'll take it.
The great Chris Caray is with us. You noticed something right out of the gate today as you were getting ready for the game and you're putting it all the names into your scorecard there, is that this is basically a lineup of this is our team for the most part.
Yeah, no, I think there, other than McNeil at second base, you got Andy Ibanez getting some reps there, but this could be a very real, very viable lineup, possibly midpoint late in the season. The big name that we were talking about was Henry Bolte, him batting ninth for the A's today, playing center field. Obviously, everybody wants to see Denzel Clark hit. We know how well he can defend. I think he's got a gold glove in his future should he be able to stay healthy and have a full year with the A's. I think that probably is a lock for him in the American League. But Henry Bolte has been really, really impressive this spring, Towny. You've talked about it for years now, but just the ability to take the extra base. I've seen a few things over my few calls with him on the field. He takes the extra base. If there's a chopper to the infield, he's coming home, full head of steam. There was one play where there was a Nick Castellanos miscommunication, error-ish thing at first. He ran from second all the way home because there was no coverage, and he scores. It's just the awareness of this guy, complemented with his frame, his athleticism, his ability to hit the baseball. I think this guy could be a true star for the A's for years to come.
Tough. I mean, he's tough, and that's something that you don't always find in this game. Like Henry Bolte is a gamer, played some football. He's got kind of that football mentality. You like that guy who comes to kick your you-know-what. And the more of those guys you can have in your clubhouse with that mentality, because we need to be honest, this core has won nothing. We've talked so much about them and how good they are. I mean, you've got Severino's been to the playoffs, McNeil's been to the playoffs, and that's it. So you got a bunch of guys who have never won. They haven't won yet. They need to learn how to win. So the more guys that you bring in who bring that kind of toughness, and we know Bolte at some point will be that guy. That's why I love the addition of Jeff McNeil. I think he brings that kind of that old school prickly baseball player, kind of he's going to be your buddy. I think he's going to be great for Jacob Wilson. But if he sees you get out of line, kind of reminds me of Johnny Gomes, how he was, and he was the leader in 12 and 13 around those kind of teams. You need that grit, and Henry Bolte could be bringing it. Also today, at the stadium, it's really interesting to look at the Angels, and the Angels who have been our rivals for a long, long time. It's just things are just strange around here. It's got a weird vibe to it.
I agree. It's just you ask the question every year for the Angels, what direction are they going to take? Because they do have some talent. They've got Seanwell, they've got Neto, they've got Trout if Trout stays healthy. Jordan Adell, Joe Adell has gotten better and better, had a great year last year. They traded away Taylor Ward, who was a big-time impact player for them, which didn't seem to make sense. And they have some talent in the minor leagues, but they don't have as much as you would think for the team they're putting on the field. So you just wonder what their direction, what they're going to be this year, because they were frisky and fun. They were taking care of the A's pretty much early in the season. I think they won the first 4 or 5 contests against the A's before they finally
swept us in a 4-game set at home.
Yep, they were playing well. So this is a team that can play well at times. It's just a matter of what are they going to do and what exactly is their plan for 2026? Kurt Suzuki's on just a 1-year deal. So how are the Angels going to be able to compete in an AL West division that does seem a little bit open this year? You have Seattle, but then everybody else right there in the mix as well. So you don't seem to think that there are too many bad teams in the AL West should everybody stay healthy.
Let's play No Mike Trout with Chris Carey. When is the last time Mike Trout played 140 games or more? I would give him kind of a full season. You want to play in the 150s, but I'll say 140. When is the last time the great Mike Trout, who was on the verge of, there's Hall of Famers, and then there's the upper echelon. When you were the 100-plus WAR guys, when you get up there with Ruth and Bonds and Mays and those kind of guys, Ted Williams, you're the 100-plus. Ricky Henderson is up there.
140 games for Trout.
When was the last year Mike Trout played at 140 games?
I'm thinking, I want to say it was after COVID. 21.
Where was Chris Carey? I'm going to say you're probably at the University of Georgia. Where were you in 2018?
Just graduating high school.
Oh, wow. You weren't even at Georgia.
Just graduating high school.
Mike Trout, the last time, this is good show prep for them. You'll be hearing this in the broadcast a little bit later. The last time Mike Trout played in 140 games, you were a senior in high school.
Mm-hmm. It's really, really sad how things have gone, because you look at Mike Trout and you say, if he stayed healthy, you're having that greatest of all time discussion about him. And then you see the up and comer Shohei Ohtani, who now people are saying is the greatest player of all time, with Babe Ruth. And you would have had 2 guys in the same team had Trout stayed healthy. And that would have been something very, very special. And if Trout did stay healthy, yes, the question, would the Angels have done anything different? And that's a really tough question to ask, because you would think if you had a full strength, healthy Trout and a full strength, healthy Ohtani and a team around them, they would be kind of like the Dodgers in the sense that they could go out and win, and they would be attractive for free agents to come. But because there seems to be no exact organizational direction, it's tough to really project what that would have looked like.
I actually, we never even got to it, but and maybe we'll get to it tomorrow. But how fired up are you about the prospects? And we put all the prospects in against each other, and then next year a full-on tournament next year, because we're kind of preparing for what may be happening next year with this no CBA. There'll be negotiations. It's business. So spring training likely will be affected, as they like to push this. Everything's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. We've been through this before. Sport's been around for over 150 years. But then we'll kind of, instead of there's not a whole lot of spring training, you could have this, all the prospects, so all the A's prospects are taking on the Angels prospects, and have like this big tournament would be great. How do you feel about it? You're a guy that's not that far removed from working in the minor leagues.
I think it's great. I think that it's going to be an awesome experience for these young guys to be able to go out there and compete for something that matters, right? Speaking of the tournament, these guys, organizations pride themselves on their farm system. And I think that for so long you've had not blind rankings, but writers kind of project who has the best organization, who has the best farm system. And you're going to see, some diamonds, some gems come out of these games, and you're going to see guys that might not have gotten a look at big league spring training go out there and be able to perform. And by no means does this mean that some tournament is going to indicate who has the best farm system in the Cactus League and the Grapefruit League and stuff like that. But it definitely will affect quite a few things when you're playing in live competition against the best of the other prospects. It gives you something to gauge and measure a little bit more. From a standpoint of the major league camp, what I like about it is, I think hopefully we have a full season. Everything's great next year. Like Towny says, we're gearing up for something that is a bit, I won't say unprecedented, but something that we haven't experienced in a while. The rosters don't need to be as big to start spring training. You don't need to have, 2 different or 3 different the strings of guys every single game, because they're going to be going out there playing in the spring breakout tournament, which I think will affect a lot of things. It will give more at-bats to people that are competing for a job now at the major league level, and it gives the scouts and it gives your coaching staff a look at your minor league guys that might be in single A or double A or pushing triple A that aren't trying to push for a roster spot out for the spring breakout tournament, and they can go have meaningful at-bats and time with people that they're likely going to be playing against, at least for that season.
It's so interesting when you look at whenever there's a time with like the WBC or this prospect breakout, the opportunities it gets guys that you may have never seen before.
Yeah.
And I love that. I mean, most guys never make the big leagues. Most guys are not going to have a career. And even if they do make the big leagues, the odds are they won't even be around for a year or two.
Mm-hmm.
Just to give young men that chance at the dream is something that I love.
It's amazing. And I think that too, like you said, because there's an unprecedented situation possibly occurring in 2027, there could be a very real scenario where all eyes are on these guys. And who knows if they decide to televise these games. I mean, any way to get people enjoying baseball, especially during spring training, is something that is going to be an initiative for Major League Baseball if there is going to be, a potential work stoppage or whatever it is. And these young guys will take center stage, which is exactly the goal of the spring breakout game, is to expose people to the next generation of major league talent. And each organization, like I said, and our front office and our whole staff and baseball ops department have done a great job cultivating a culture and finding great players and growing them here with the Athletics to be great fixtures for the big league team or maybe other big league teams in the future.
All right. So how do you want me to be on the air today with you? What do you want me to do? How do you want it to play out?
I liked what we did the last time.
Oh, you think I'm overbearing. I get it. So what do you want me to do?
I think that you are just great the way you are. See, I think that
I'm not buying it.
I think it's incredible that you can roll out of bed and be that good at being on for 2 hours straight and then have to struggle through a 3-hour broadcast with me. Not you struggling, but just getting through.
I was up all night doing show prep.
And
all night. By the way, I'm going to compare you and your situation with what Kurt Suzuki told SiriusXM for their Angels preview.
Are we talking like a full-on situation or today's situation?
I heard what Kurt Suzuki said to our buddy Mike Farron from SiriusXM, friend of the program. What Kurt Suzuki said, I'm going to compare that with you. And it'll be on a positive note for you, not on a positive note for Kurt Suzuki. I was not talking about the message, the message you need to send. I was kind of watch your foot, shaking. It was not good. Commander, can you come back on, please? Because I have one Know Your Angels question for Chris Carey.
Okay, I was going to ask him one too, but go ahead and ask yours first.
Oh, I'm going to do horribly, guys.
You go first.
All right, Chris. This is going to be easy. Well, maybe. We'll see how well you know your Angels. Who is the all-time hits leader in Angels history?
All-time hits leader. I want to go one of the fish guys. I want to say either it's trout or salmon, but is it either of them?
I'm going to have to – I have sound effects, but that answer is unfortunately – Towny, do you have a guess?
Rod Carew. Once you said not Trout, I'm like, how's it not Mike Trout?
The answer is
Bobby Grich. Garrett Anderson.
2000
Angels. All right, this is for both. Well, I don't.
That wasn't a horrible guess for me though.
No, Mike Trout, because if Mike Trout hadn't been hurt so much, he would be.
Trout's second. He has 1,754 hits.
Okay, well that counts for 1 second. Doesn't count for.
We're gonna play Who Am I? Angels Edition. I am a legendary entertainer, both television, film, singing, superstar, who owned the Angels before I passed away, and then my family sold it to Disney. I am also the author of one of the most famous Christmas songs of all time. The longtime owner of the Angels. Who am I?
Go ahead, Carey. I know the answer.
Do you want a hint?
Sure, I'll take it.
My nickname was the Cowboy.
That's not going to do anything.
Are you serious?
The Cowboy.
Legendary. Movies. Singer. Television. He was synonymous with Angels. He was Angels baseball. He goes back to when they were in the PCL, the Los Angeles Angels. He was a minority owner. Here comes Santa Claus. Here comes Santa Claus. Right down Santa Claus Lane. You hear it every Christmas.
Yeah.
Here, I'll play it for you.
I know the song.
Don't play it. You can't. YouTube can't play it.
Sorry. My boss. Here. Can I sing it?
Sing it. That's fine.
We don't get dinged for it. But by the way, when we play music, they flag us and they try and charge us. Here comes Santa Claus. Here comes Santa Claus. Right down Santa Claus Lane. Gene Autry? You don't know who Gene Autry is?
That's the correct answer.
You didn't know that. Yes.
Well, he knew it.
Remember, Carey, my family had my wife is an Angels fan, and so is my father-in-law. So they have 8 fans total, and 5 of them come from her family. So
listen, I'm not exactly great on history. 4 days ago, is today the 5th or the 6th?
Today's the 5th.
4 days ago, I learned it was my great-grandfather's birthday. I never knew it was March 1st. So now I'd never met him, but
God, I was going to say something to you, Cody. When do we have to go to Gunnar?
We still have about 5 minutes.
Okay. I have a solution for the Angels.
Okay.
You guys ready for this?
I don't know.
If they came to me and said, Towny, help us out.
Bring back the Rally Monkey?
They still have the Rally Monkey.
Oh, do they? I haven't been there.
Rally Monkey's not gone anywhere. That dumb thing. There is one thing that I've known my entire life that works in Anaheim. It works every year. They do nothing but print money. They understand business as much as anybody. They've adapted through everything. Whatever curveball you've thrown them, they knock it out of the ballpark and they always have success. The only time the Angels have won the World Series, Terry Smith still has the ring on. I was looking at it. He has the ring over on right now. 2002 was a long time ago. It's the last time they won the World Series. Who owned the Angels when they won the World Series?
Wouldn't that be Disney?
What company has flourished? It used to be a bunch of orange groves, but Walt Disney bought it, had the vision, and since he made it happen, is there any company that has thrived in Orange County and knows how to work Anaheim like Walt Disney World? The Disney Corporation. Is there anybody that knows that county, that town better than Disney?
No.
Sell the damn thing back to Disney. Because Disney, is there anything that, last time I checked, everything Disney does works.
They got people buying $12 water bottles there.
I mean, everything Disney does. When Disney owned the team, they won the World Series. I don't know why. I don't even know if Bob Iger was running them. I don't know. I don't remember why they sold to Artie Moreno. Remember, Artie Moreno, little history lesson. Artie Moreno is a really unbelievable story. I mean, from I think he went to the University of Arizona. He's a big Tucson guy, but he started a billboard company. And so he had billboards everywhere and was so successful. Back then, the company was called Clear Channel. They bought his billboard company, and that's where he made all of his money, and he's billionaire and everything. But is it time to get Disney back involved? Because if there's anybody that makes Anaheim work, everywhere in Anaheim, Disney's successful. I'm just saying, you may not like Disney, whatever. I just know whatever Disney does, they're good at.
Can I offer my short-term solution too? Extend Zach Neto. It's time. That's my answer. This is a guy that has been through now with the Angels, was a homegrown guy, a guy they picked, really scrappy, gritty player. He gets more and more attention and acclaim every single year he takes the field for the Angels. And he has said publicly he wants to be here. He wants to follow the model that Mike Trout has set, is he wants to be an Angel. He wants to be a part of this team in the future, regardless of the situation that they're in. And I think that that's worth something because it gives the fans something to grab onto, something to embrace. As a guy who wants to be here, a guy who has waded through all of the stuff and the issues that have existed. That is the guy that should be the face of your team going forward. And I don't think that it's a bad investment whatsoever, considering the resume that we've seen so far. People have been extended and signed to bigger contracts for far less than what Zach Neto has done over the last few years.
Angels have a bad track record with contracts. I don't know. I mean, there's a couple. Don't want to mention Josh Hamilton.
Hey, Rendon's working to get back. Rendon's working to get back. He really the love of the game.
I get what you're saying, though, Caray. Like, he'd be the guy you would sign for sure.
Why do we trade Kyler Murray's rights to the Angels?
They do need a guy that can play center field, and or Chuck.
Right? You do know the song, "Here Comes Santa Claus, Here Comes Santa Claus." Okay, you do know. You at least know that song.
Okay. 30 seconds, real quick.
The answer: the Cowboy, Gene Autry.
30 seconds. You already know the answer, Chris. Chris Caray, who's the winningest manager in Angels history?
Come on, bro. He was there forever.
He was there for.
Yes.
There you go. Correct.
I was tricking myself out of it.
15 seconds.
Gunnar Hoglund going to get healthy, and he's going to be on the big club at some point. We're going to be using all these guys. I mean, it's just a reality. He could be a guy starting games in Sacramento. I caught up with him early in spring training. We are back tomorrow, Friday against the Rockies. We'll be on 10 a.m. West Coast time. 10 a.m. here, 11 o'clock West Coast time. We'll see everybody tomorrow.
Gunnar Hoglund with us here on A's Cast. How have you been?
I've been good. Yeah, recovery with the hips going good, and excited to be back.
You know, that was the one thing, we see pitchers get hurt these days, and we're always thinking arm, and all of a sudden when it was the hip, it was like, what happened? It was hard to believe because really thought the way you were throwing the ball well, you're really starting to find yourself. So I got to think, healthy now, you got to be really excited for this year.
Yeah, I am. I got a little taste last year of everything, and up until that point I was feeling good, and then the hip kind of just came on a little bit at the end, and fortunately ended my season a little earlier than I wanted to, but I'm coming in excited, ready to go.
When you say you had a taste, I think for a lot of players coming into this year, it's such a big thing because all off season, it really gave you something to work for, different than all your other years. Now that you've been here, you understand it, you want it more.
Exactly. Yeah, no, you nailed it right on the head. Just being able to experience that and kind of just learn a little bit from the starts that I made, and just kind of roll with that into the off season, and now trying to hopefully make a spot here on the team.
What was the big key for you when you look at the off season? Once you got healthy, what did you reflect on that you needed to get better at?
I think the main thing was just my quality of my secondary pitches, mainly my slider, trying to sharpen that out. I thought at times it was just a non-competitive pitches, and it kind of put me behind in counts and just made it tougher for me. I just really worked on that pitch, and overall just trying to work on my overall health.
Yeah, when you think about pitch design, pitch shaping, what's the key for you when let's say your slider, how do you go about that process of making it tighter, being better control? How did you do it?
Yeah, kind of just with technology nowadays.
Yeah.
It's you know, using the Edgertronic video, the slow-mo to see how it comes off your fingers, and just making small adjustments like that. And just, yeah, a lot of practice and a lot of repetitions.
Yeah, the days of just going into the bullpen and have someone stand behind you, those are over. There's a lot of different ways to figure out how to make yourself better.
Yeah, no, it's yeah, there's a lot of resources now, and yeah, there's a lot of stuff that could help you out.
So the mindset coming into this spring, obviously we see you long-term as a starter, but there may be innings out of the bullpen. How do you feel about coming out of the bullpen?
Yeah, I mean, either way, I feel like I can compete, either if it's a starting role or out of the bullpen. You know, I feel like I'm built up to do either of that. So.
And are we deemed 100% ready to go once we start this thing?
Yeah, I mean, I'm under the impression that, you know, I'm ready to go, and I'm healthy enough to start the season.
Yeah, because that was the thing. It's like with that, you didn't have a hip problem before. It was just you got hurt, and it is what it is.
Yeah, kind of just, yeah, I never had any hip issues beforehand, and yeah, it just kind of came on, and it kept getting worse and worse, and it got to the point where I needed surgery. So,
being around in this organization, talk about the confidence that you continue to see grow inside that clubhouse.
Yeah, I think, you know, it's a young core, and we signed a lot of veterans, and that core's, you know, grown up now, and I feel like we all got a lot of, you know, experience under our belt, and now we're ready to go and, you know, try to make the playoffs and win the thing.
As a younger guy, when you start talking about signing the veterans, it shows great competition. There's a lot of competition in that room, obviously, for innings.
No, yeah, it's a great environment. Being a competitor, you know, that's what you want. You want to be able to compete and just be around a great group of guys like them.
All right, I've been asking everybody, coolest thing you did this off season, not counting baseball. We got to take baseball out. What's the coolest thing that happened to you this off season?
Ooh, I don't know. There's so much. Traveling, made a trip to Chicago, made a trip to Charleston, South Carolina. Finally got to live in my house that I just bought. So I'd say it's a little bit of all that. So
the new house.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What was it like moving into the new house?
It was nice. It was good to finally, because I had bought it last year, right before spring training. So I actually never got to live in it.
You bought a house, never moved in.
Never moved
Wow.
in, yeah. And then we had to go to spring training last
Yeah,
year.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
but then I was able to finally move in and live in it. And yeah.
I'm assuming this is the first thing you've bought before?
Big purchase, yeah.
So what was it like being a homeowner for the first time?
It was nice. It was new. Obviously, there's some stuff, but
Yeah.
it's just nice to, you know, be able to call a place your home and yeah, just settle.
Your house, your bed, it's a whole different feeling, right?
It is, yeah. Yeah, got a nice bed in there, some good sleep. Yeah, it's nice.
Well, I'll tell you what, you're going to get some key outs and pitch some key innings for the Athletics here in 2026. I'm so happy you're healthy. We know the talent that you have. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. Thanks for stopping by. Stay healthy. We'll see you in Sacramento.
Thank you so much.
The time is now. Grab your sunglasses, A's gear, and get ready for some fun in the sun. Spring training is back as the Athletics get ready for the 2026 season. Now's the time to make plans to catch us in Mesa, Arizona, and enjoy the sunshine of your family and friends. Grab your tickets for the best seats at the lowest prices as your green and gold take on the Dodgers, Giants, Cubs, Padres, and more at Ho-Ho-Cam Stadium. Don't wait. Get your tickets at athletics.com/spring. That's athletics.com/spring.
This has been a presentation of The Athletics.